We are well and truly in the depths of a new meta here in NFT land. Open editions. No whitelists, no grinding, no likes and retweets. And you should pay attention to this video because we've seen open editions like Proceed with Caution 0.06 to well over half an ETH, Nyan Balloons 0.007 to a good 0.05 or close enough, checks basically free to over half an ETH. In this video, I'm going to break down what they are, what's driving their growth, what to look for, and how to profit from them. So, what are open editions? In its simplest form, open editions are NFTs that don't have a capped supply. You'll usually find these on Manifold, kind of like this. Now, it's important to know that open editions are usually 1155s and not 721s. What does this mean? Well, it means that collections, there's only one NFT and multiple people own it. You can see if it's an 1155 or a 721 when you go to the details section right here and if you click here. Now, on a side note, I know that I'm calling them NFTs and it's a joke, a running joke, because they are interchangeable, but I digress. Now, the issue with 1155s is that they're not really conducive of high floor prices. You're buying and selling essentially a commodity with no rarity, and it's also hard to see the holder ratios. Now look, on OpenSea, you can see my boy here, NFT Prada's open edition, for example. Now the individual NFTs are essentially mixed together, so even though they are one collection, it's still kind of two collections. So this does make it hard to gauge the holders and the floor price at a glance, and this can kind of hold someone back. So that's why 1155s aren't as conducive for a pump and higher floor prices as 721s. So what's driving open editions? And I'm just going to call them OEs. That's what you kind of see on Twitter. Now, circling back to the main platform that people are releasing open editions on, Manifold, creators have the ability to include burn mechanics. So you as a collector can burn your NFT for another in the collection. Now, look, hold on. We're going to get into a little bit of Ponzi-nomics here, and we're going to go down a Ponzi-nomics rabbit hole, but please stick with me. It'll make sense. So initially, you can mint as many as you would like because there is no cap. Now, it means that everyone has a chance to actually get in and jump into the project at the start of the project. Now, on the page, there is usually a sales countdown timer, and when the timer ends, you can't mint anymore. Now, you can trade before and after, but the price action usually doesn't kick in until the timer is over. Now, this is when the artist or founder may come out with an announcement and say that a burn is taking place, and this usually creates a supply squeeze on the secondary market when the burn actually happens or beforehand. Now, there can be additional burns to collect pieces in the collection, so you can get a whole set, and other gamified mechanics over and over. Now look, it's a little bit confusing. Here is a simple chart just to make it easy of Nyan balloons, and you can see here that if you hold a red on different days, you will be able to get different colors, and if you then hold multiple reds, you can get multiple different colors. Now this is the concept that drives growth because anyone can mint, and usually with these mints, it's a very low mint price, and I'm talking they're usually like 0.00 and then a number here, so it's very easy to get in. Now what happens instead of the project dying off after reveal, the news cycle and essentially the media can talk about the roadmap, and I do use that very loosely, and we're able to kind of shout in the echo chamber of the project what's happening with the burn. Now this means that these projects actually have a longer lifespan than other projects, and this will then mean that there's more attention and there can usually be a supply squeeze and price go up. And this then means that a 5,000 open edition mint could then turn into a 5-piece collection. Now this path of minting, speculating, and burning give the initial minters a chance to exit the project at multiple points in time, and it basically reduces the risk for those initial minters. And then when you combine this with the mints costing less than gas at some points, you then have the chance for true degens and true alpha callers alpha people that are scrolling Twitter to actually rise to the top, hedge their bets on particular founders and artists. Now, what should you look for in an open edition? Now, this goes without saying, but an artist or a founder that has credibility or reputation within the space. Someone with a solid following or support network that can help push the Ponzi-nomics of the burn mechanics, because that follow along and their followers are crucial in bringing that attention down the line. People buying off secondary to burn and get into the game is important for those initial holders, so you want to look for those founders that have that ability. Look for open edition mints that have a very low entry point, the 0.00s, and then this isn't a bad point to actually move in on. Now look for a relatively healthy amount of editions that have been minted. Now it's very hard to give exact numbers because it's going to be based off the founder and the artist, but I like to look for around that 5K mark. Now this is where it might actually sort of catch some heat. When we get to the 10K mark, unless they're huge, big, influential, it can be very hard for this to run up. But saying that, I also like to avoid anything that is sub 1K, because it's very hard for the 1K to compound into some growth afterwards, because you don't have a large base to burn, supply, and keep kind of running on with the Ponzi-nomics. Now look, there is always a caveat. If there is a person out there that's huge, big artist, big founder, and they are under that 1K mark, you can always break the rules. Just go with your gut, do that research, because then it could be good. These aren't hard and fast rules. These are just at a glance to kind of help you navigate open editions better. So now to the good part, the most important part. How do you profit from open editions? The key to making money and taking profits from open editions is understanding the game. Just like with a traditional whitelist, mint, and flip before reveal, understand that there are opportunities that come in at the burn mechanic. Now, there won't be an arbitrage off the mint directly because it's an open edition. There will be a mini pump after the mint has closed itself, but the next pump will come on the announcement of the burn itself. Now look, the open edition game is still very, very new and it's maturing fast. So please, this is just my opinion, but burning the actual open edition itself isn't the best call, because the open edition mint, that first thing that you mint, is the thing that will get squeezed, and that is the key and the tool and the lever to actually move in and mint the next one. Now, when it comes to the upside, the floors will rarely 10x. Now, you will get those moonshots here and there, but you're not going to get those 10x's very easily like you get with those capped supplies. So please get comfortable when you are moving in open editions to take between a 3 and a 5x. Now, another thing I also like to do is wait until the last minute, so when that timer is counting down, because if you are in the very first sort of 30 minutes of an open edition and it's run for 24 hours, you're not sure where it's actually going to go to, how many will be minting, you don't know how hot they will be, so waiting towards the end of the timer will actually give you a chance. Now, be comfortable holding through the burn and the announcement, and if you need to floor it, just exit your position and take it there. But what you should do is, once you do mint that open edition, set some listing prices so you can catch the pump when you're not away. Now, like I said, this is still a new meta we're in, and people are still working out how to play the game, the market, and where the angles are. I hope you enjoyed this video about open editions, and I hope I was able to shed some light on a new meta within the space. And I hope you're able to take advantage of this. If you found value in this video, please scroll down there, hit up that subscribe button, and while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.